Hello! Welcome to my review of the Nemesis Star. This is an exotic heavy machine gun that was first introduced in Rise of Iron. It's one of the only weapons in the game from the Nadir Foundry and sports some of the coolest looking aesthetics of any machine gun. The first intrinsic perk is Extinction Cycle. On trigger pull, this weapon's initial burst has a higher rate of fire. When you aim down sights, it's really easy to see how long this perk will work. There's a bar that will quickly fill up as you are firing it. Once it's full, the gun will now fire in its normal rate of fire. This effectively gives you two fire modes on the gun, fast and slow. For muzzles, we have Accurized Ballistics, more range and impact, increased recoil. Field Choke, more range and impact, increased recoil. And finally, Linear Compensator, more predictable recoil, slight boost to range and impact, more recoil. The muzzles on this literally don't matter. There are no real differences between recoil patterns in either the fast or slow rate of fire for all of them. This is mostly due to the incredibly high base stability of the gun, so my advice for muzzles is to pick whichever one you like the most. You're not really losing out on anything. The next perk is Spray and Play. Increases the reload speed of this weapon when its mag is empty. This is a great perk for the gun for multiple reasons. 1, the base reload speed is pretty low, so any help there is great. 2, if you end up burst firing the gun to take advantage of the higher rate of fire, then you will be reloading often. 3, if you dump a whole magazine into something even when normally using it, then you'll find the perk helpful. So really, this perk makes you want to empty the whole magazine to kind of cheat around the slow base reload speed of the gun. That's fine, because usually I find myself using the entire mag anyway. For stat mod perks, we have Perfect Balance. This weapon has extremely low recoil. Field Scout increases carried ammo capacity. And Flared Magwell. Reload this weapon even faster. Flared Magwell is great if you're in a fight where you're having to reload frequently before you can actually empty the magazine. It doesn't provide a huge benefit though, but enough that it makes a difference. Perfect Balance does help you land crits by making the recoil pattern a little bit easier to control, although it doesn't provide enough of a difference from the already high base stability to make it a standout perk. Field Scout, in my opinion, is the clear winner. The one thing you want with this gun is more ammo. No matter how you use it, it never hurts to hold more ammo in your reserves. The other two stat mods just don't offer up enough to make up for the extra ammo that you get with Field Scout. If you hold more rounds, you do more damage. Simple as that. The final perk is Strange Gravity. When holding down the trigger, range and accuracy increases as rate of fire decreases. Kills grant bonus grenade energy. This perk has a lot of moving parts. So first off, there's kind of a hidden rangefinder here that makes the damage fall off carry out to stupidly far ranges. So far, in fact, that you will maintain normal damage at rates where the accuracy of the gun just isn't viable. Fortunately, when you hold down the trigger long enough, the accuracy increases once you actually trigger the normal rate of fire of the gun. It still doesn't increase the accuracy enough to make it worth using at its full range though. It is a machine gun, so you really want to use it from mid to long range, not sniper rifle range. The last part of the perk grants you some bonus grenade energy similar to Grenadier. This is just icing on the cake for the most part. You already have a gun capable of incredible burst and sustained damage at huge ranges. Plus, kills will help you throw some grenades. That's awesome. Alright, so let's go over the gun in PvP real quick. Its burst damage is absolutely incredible, provided you land your headshots. I don't think you should be holding the trigger down to get the slower rate of fire in PvP though. While it does do more damage, you're only getting one magazine of ammo when you open a heavy ammo crate, so you don't have too many shots to throw away to make that extra damage happen. I only see the slower rate of fire coming into play if you see a ton of enemies slowly filtering into your line of fire. Like most exotic heavy guns, I don't think it's a viable gun to take up your exotic slot in PvP. Heavy ammo comes up so infrequently in all of the normal playlists that I just can't recommend using this. If I'm going to use an exotic heavy, I'll use Truth, since that's essentially 3 guaranteed kills. In the time it takes for you to kill someone with a machine gun, I can usually dip in and out of cover with a rocket launcher and blow up a capture point. This isn't to say that Nemesis Star is bad in any PvP. In fact, I think it's one of the stronger machine guns mostly due to its high ammo capacity and high rate of fire. If you want to use this gun, I recommend trying it out in some of the Mayhem playlists. If you have a constant stream of heavy ammo to use, this thing will be a huge threat with its high rate of fire plus high range. Okay, so PvE is a little bit different of a case. As I've mentioned earlier, the Extinction Cycle perk effectively allows for 2 different fire modes. I found the greatest use of this when bursting down shielded enemies. The initial high rate of fire can chew through that shield quick, and then the slow rate of fire is good for keeping an enemy kind of stun-locked. But I suppose the biggest question is, what does the higher DPS? Burst firing in high rate of fire mode, or just holding down the trigger? Well, the answer isn't as simple as doing the math. Yes, only using the higher rate of fire would technically increase your DPS, but that leaves a massive amount of room for the lovely thing called human error. Let's look at this example on the Celebrant of Oryx. I love this as a practical world test because he moves around a bunch. This causes me to miss some shots, have to start and restart my burst before it's fully triggered, the slower rate of fire mode, and then sometimes hit some body shots. In the end, there's only about a second difference between the two modes, with simply holding down the trigger being the winner. That was mostly due to it being stun locked by the lower rate of fire mode. Of course, there's some other stuff in there like how I used more ammo doing the burst fire since you are spending ammo quicker, which should be taken into account. But the overall conclusion I like to draw from this is that unless you're firing at a completely stationary target and can expend your ammo perfectly, just hold down the trigger to do boss damage. That's my recommendation at least. If someone else does the math and draws a different conclusion, that's fine. Sometimes we spend too much theory crafting on maximizing damage when we should just be enjoying shooting a really cool gun. Anyway, speaking of maximizing damage, if you're looking to have a new boss killer exotic, Nemesis Star isn't really it. It does great damage to adds and can pump out reasonable damage to a boss if needed, but it won't be dethroning the holy trifecta of Galahorn, Sleeper Simulant, and Black Spindle. It works well on major enemies, strike bosses, but in the raid it won't be the absolute best option to use. That doesn't mean it's bad by any means though. You aren't hurting your raid team by using it. This thing is also fun. Really fun in PvE. It's one of the most accurate machine guns I've ever used, and it's really simple to make use of its rate of fire utility. The sounds of the rounds stopping is really similar to a turbocharger spooling up on a car, and it's a really satisfying change in percussive sound from when you go to the higher rate of fire to the lower. So if you have this gun and enjoy using it, don't let anyone tell you to unequip it. It's damn fun to use, which is what this video game is all about anyway. If you're looking for that next god tier weapon though, keep looking. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you next time.